It's been so brilliant to come here to the University of Bangor to deliver this public lecture, and on all days World Wetlands Day, because wetlands are just such spectacular habitats, incredibly important around the world, but particularly important in the UK and particularly important here in Wales as one of the most important habitats, wildlife habitats we have, and habitats that actually are so important for humans as well in doing all kinds of things that are really beneficial for human society. Biodiversity has been in freefall around the world for hundreds of years now, but particularly in the last 5 decades or so, and we've seen a real collapse in the state of nature globally, but also in the UK and also in Wales as well. But really, I hope my talk tonight showed that there's hope. We can turn this around. We can bend the curve on biodiversity loss. To do that, we need to make more space for nature and make sure that we're getting to at least 30% of our land and sea in recovery for nature by the end of this decade. We need to make sure that we restore the abundance of nature, so it's not just that we've got a different range of species, but actually they're in proper abundance in nature. And we also need to get nature working again, which of course is things like making sure our wetlands are wet. It's about making sure that they're functioning. It's making sure that species that are missing from our landscape are there, like beavers, so that again we absolutely see nature working as it should. And then we can turn around this appalling collapse in biodiversity. It's incredibly exciting to come here to the University of Bangor and hear about the plans for 30 by 30 in 30. So mirroring that global promise to get 30% of our land and sea and inland waters in recovery for nature by 2030. But Bangor University taking it one step further and saying that they do it in 30 different places across the university campus. I think that's a really inspiring vision, and we'll make sure that University of Bangor stands out amongst academic institutions across the country, amongst universities, as a university that is absolutely leading the charge on how we can restore nature and do that in a way that's good for nature but good for people as well. You know, one of the interesting things about natural sciences as a sort of academic discipline over the years is I think its best years are still ahead of it. You know, if the 21st century has to be the century during which humanity learns to live fairly within environmental limits, learns to live on this planet as if we mean to stay, learns to live in harmony with nature, and therefore to study natural sciences at university is surely one of the most important things that you can do to really make sure that you're relevant and that you can have an ability to have jobs and a career in the 21st century that's going to be crucially important for humanity and also always in demand. And of course, it's incredibly good fun and inspiring and motivating at the same time. It's hard to think of many other places that would be a better place to study natural sciences than the University of Bangor. I mean, just as I was arriving in Bangor this afternoon, you just look out around you and you see the mountains on one side and the sea on the other side, and you see the beautiful rivers here and so on. I mean, what a wonderful place. The University of Bangor is right in the lab that you need to study natural sciences. It's hard to imagine that you can have a better located university for that. What a brilliant place to come and study the natural sciences. You know, the way we turn things around in terms of the climate and ecological crisis will always be by people taking action. Whether that's individuals or individuals coming together into communities to form community groups that take action, whether those community groups come together to form a wider movement. If you look at the history of human society, big change happens when people come together and make it happen. And you know, we absolutely have the power to do this, but what we need is people to do something. I'm not going to say that there's just this one thing here or this one thing there, other than do something. You know, don't sit back and just observe the appalling climate ecological crisis. Everyone knows what's the best way that they individually can do something about this. Just get up and do something.